Why are we here? What makes something real? How do we know what we know? If you ever laid awake at night wrestling with questions like these, congratulations! You are already doing philosophy. And you are in good company. For thousands of years, the greatest minds in history have grappled with the same questions. But here is what most people get wrong about philosophy. It's not just abstract theories gathering dust in university libraries. These questions shape every decision you make, from your career choices to your relationships, from your Instagram posts to your life goals. In the next few minutes, we are going to explore the big questions that philosophy asks, and more importantly, why they matter more today than ever before. And I promise, by the end of this video, you will have a whole new way of thinking about your daily life. Welcome to Philosophy 101, where we are breaking down the most powerful ideas in human history into bite-sized pieces that actually make sense. I'm Sleiter, and this is the first video in our series exploring the foundations of philosophical thinking. Think about it. We're living in a time when artificial intelligence is rewriting the rules of reality. Social media is changing how we know things, and technology is forcing us to question what it means to be human. These aren't just technical problems, they are philosophical ones. Philosophy gives us the tools to navigate this complexity. It's divided into several main branches, each asking different questions about our world and existence. Today, we'll explore these branches and show you how they are secretly influencing the way you're living. Let's start with perhaps the most fundamental question of all. What is reality? This brings us to our first branch of philosophy, which is metaphysics. What if I told you that right now you might be living in a simulation? Sounds like a science fiction, right? But this question about what's truly real has puzzled philosophers for thousands of years. Welcome to metaphysics, the branch of philosophy that asks, what is reality, what exists, and why is there something rather than nothing? Think about your social media profile for a moment. Is that you? Is it real? In a way, we're all creating multiple versions of ourselves across different platforms. But which version is the real you? The Instagram you, the LinkedIn you, the you listen to this right now? When Mark Zuckerberg talks about the metaverse, or when you're deciding which version of yourself to present online, you're actually wrestling with metaphysical questions. Pretty mind-bending, right? But wait, how do we even know any of this? How can we be sure of anything? This brings us to epistemology, the study of knowledge itself. Imagine scrolling through your newsfeed, you see a shocking headline. Your friend shared it, so it must be true, right? But how do you really know? This is epistemology in action. It's about how we know what we know and why we believe what we believe. In an age of deepfakes, AI-generated content, and information overload, understanding epistemology isn't just philosophical, it's a survival skill. It helps us navigate the difference between knowledge, belief, and opinion. Now, here is where things get really interesting. Ethics. If metaphysics asks what's real and epistemology asks how we know things, ethics asks what should we do about it? Should you like your friend's post even if you disagree with it? Should AI have rights? Is it okay to ghost someone? Ethics isn't just about questions like good and evil, it's about the choices you make every single day. The ancient Greeks had a beautiful word for this: eudaimonia, living a life worth living. Ethics isn't about following rules, it's about figuring out what makes good life good and how we should treat each other along the way. But to answer these ethical questions effectively, we need something else. A way to think clearly and reason. This brings us to our next branch. Have you ever noticed how some arguments just don't add up? That's where logic comes in. It's like the mathematics of thought. But before you run away thinking, oh no, maths, hear me out. You actually use logic every day. When you're deciding what to watch on Netflix, you're using logic. I like this actor, this show stars this actor, therefore I might like the show. Boom, that's a logical argument. But here is where it gets fascinating. In an age where AI makes decisions for us, from our social media feeds to our shopping recommendations, understanding logic isn't just academic, it's about knowing when something makes sense and when you are being nudged in a particular direction. It's about thinking clearly in a world designed to do our thinking for us. And finally, we come to perhaps the most intriguing branches of all, aesthetics. What makes something beautiful? Why do some things please us and others don't? Think about it. Every time you apply a filter to your photo, you're making an aesthetic judgment. Every time you swipe left or right on a dating app, you're engaging with questions that philosophers have pondered for centuries about beauty and attraction. But aesthetics goes beyond just pretty and ugly. It asks why certain things move us deeply, whether it's a sunset, a TikTok video, or a piece of music. In our increasingly digital world where we are constantly consuming and creating content, understanding aesthetics helps us make sense of why things go viral while others just fades away into obscurity. Now, you might be thinking, this is all fascinating, but how do these 5 branches work together in real life? Well, let me show you something interesting. Let's put all this together with something we all use every day, social media. Imagine you're about to post something important. First, metaphysics kicks in. You're creating a version of reality, choosing which you to present to the world. Epistemology comes into play as you fast-check your post. How do you know what you're sharing is true? Ethics steps up when you consider how your post might affect others. Is it kind? Is it necessary? Is it helpful? Logic helps you structure your message. Is your argument clear? Does your point make sense? And aesthetics guides your choice of photo, font, or filter, making your post not just meaningful, but engaging. See what just happened? In that single moment of posting, you used every branch of philosophy we've discussed. This isn't just academic theory, it's how we navigate our modern world. We've covered a lot of ground today, from the nature of reality to the principles of beauty, but here is what I really want you to take away. Philosophy isn't just about ancient Greeks in togas with long beard. It's a living, breathing toolkit for understanding our increasingly complex world. In the next video, we'll dive deeper into some key philosophical concepts that will change how you see everything around you. Trust me, you won't want to miss it. Now, here is what I want to know from you. Which of these philosophical branches resonates most with your daily life? Drop a comment below with your biggest philosophical question, the one that keeps you up at night. And don't forget to subscribe to join us on this journey through the most powerful ideas in human history. Remember, as Socrates said, the unexamined life is not worth living. So let's start examining together. See you in the next video where we'll explore the key concepts that have shaped human thought for thousands of years.